Hello and welcome to Update WPT Episode 2. This has been one very productive week, but rather than talk about how it's been great, I will show you. Let's get right into it. Now, if you tuned in last episode, you will notice quite a few changes here. Immediately at the bottom, you'll see the sort of two bars and a couple different boxes. Essentially, this is your health bar. If you ever played Legend of Mana, it functions very similarly. In fact, I have some debug setups, that way I can change the health on the fly. You actually have about 250 health right now, where each color represents 100 health. So if I go all the way down, this is 0, red is kind of 50, orange is 100, 150, 200, 250 or so, 275 maybe. I just kind of like that scheme. It seems kind of fun and neat, a little bit different, changing colors around. Plus it makes you feel good when you have a blue bar. It's kind of neat. Anyway, that's just a minor change. These little boxes down here, if I highlight one of them, these are kind of going to be action buttons, kind of like a MMORPG if you ever played one. Essentially, you place an action there, then you can click it just to have your character perform some sort of special move or cast a magic ability. And speaking of which, well, I'll get into that magic later. I still have some things to show you. I added quite a few things here. I added some debug blue boxes that you can see around. These are just showing the collision box, the hitbox area for the player or enemies here. The enemies are these red boxes, the player is this orange box over here on the left. And I added some world collisions, some enemy collisions. Generally things have been going really smoothly, really quickly as well. And most importantly, what I've been spending a lot of time on this week has been this pause menu. Yes, some things look really cheesy, but other things look really cool, and I'm very happy with it. Breaking it down here at the top, I have kind of an overview of what the your player's stats are, your current health, how much health you have at most, what your experience points are at, what level you are, your name. This little black box here at the very top left is going to be like your icon, your player icon, just kind of something fun. Your damage, how much damage you output on the right, how much armor you have, and then finally at the bottom is kind of like the bigger point of the menu. There you can select items, different armor to equip. A lot of it's still being worked out. A lot of them are just kind of blank color boxes right now, but you can see I crafted up two icons really quickly to show what I want the menu to look like eventually, where you can click on them, and these are just categories right now. So you have, this is where all of your items will be, and this is where all of your armor will be, and this is where all your weapons will be. Things of that nature. We have some magic as well, where you have like arcane enchantment, speed, ice shatter, firequake, some healing spells. These are all different kinds of spells. Same with abilities. The difference is an ability is an attack you perform with your melee weapon to deal extra damage or perform some sort of a special ability. There's basically meant to be two different things. You can either do magic or you can perform abilities, but either way you always have a sort of melee attack, very Legend of Mana-like, where you kind of just run around the screen attacking, mashing buttons to hit enemies, or casting magic if you want to, and casting special abilities when you get to, things of that sort. But generally, I'm just really happy with the way this thing turned out. It's almost exactly like I envisioned it would. Certainly quite a few things I'd be tuned up to make it look nicer, but hey, this is the first week of development, so generally just deal with it. If I could speak a little bluntly about the development, these are actually this is actually made inside of a Java JTree. I'm really using Java Swing GUI to its full advantage in this game, which makes me really happy. It makes things a lot easier. So this is actually a JTree, and JTrees are pretty hard to work with. And in fact, it doesn't even look like any sort of typical JTree you would see if you're the first time ever working with a JTree. But it's just a simple tree-like structure, like a folder file structure, where you can have things inside of a folder container. In this case, I have different kinds of magic inside of the magic container. But to make it work out, it's kind of funny. Essentially, Java wants to keep everything as far left as possible, and so in order to make, for instance, this magic arcane enchantment stick out quite a few pixels further away from the edge, about 50 or so, what I ended up doing was I made this icon look, as far as the programming goes, it has a width of 50 plus the icon size. So there's actually maybe this is a bit over the head for some people, but essentially Java is trying to draw way beyond the edge of this actual purple box right here, and it forces it to draw further out into the center of the screen, making it look like it's more tabbed out than it should be. I'm using kind of a lot of jargon and funny words to describe. It looks nice. So if you ever have any questions about how I made this, I'd be happy to share my source code and talk about it, and just send me an email. And speaking of which, that's all I have to show you this week. Thank you very much for watching. You can follow me at Twitter or my blog, which will be posted in the description. Thank you again.